everyone, this is ENGin Podcast, and we're coming back. My name is Masha.
And my name is Fiona, and this week we're doing more differences between the United States and Ukraine, and these topics came from our Instagram, people asked about, so we're going to be talking about them. So if you want to know something more about the United States or how the two countries compare, send us a message on Instagram and we'll try to include it in an episode.
So great, we'll start first talking about leisure. In Ukraine, actually, students are too busy with their home tasks, with their extracurriculars, but actually everyone should find some spare time to enjoy it with their friends and family. In Ukraine, we usually prefer spending our weekends with friends, going for strolls, or just relaxing at home, watching movies. But anyway, your leisure depends on your interest. Mm-hmm. For instance, as I'm interested in volunteering and reading, run a book house club, and also I organize different projects which links to education and different opportunities for students. So please, Fiona, tell a bit more about American leisure time.
Yeah. Again, I'll just say America, a lot of people do very different things, but I'll try and touch upon the general things a lot of people share. I'd say on weekends, a lot of Americans will go to movies with their friends, or they'll go out to dinner, or they also might go on a walk or a hike. As far as what I like to do on weekends, Masha and I think share a lot of common interests, so I also will read or watch movies at home. I also volunteer quite a bit, or I'll go on a walk. But again, I think it depends. A lot of Americans will do outdoor sports on weekends, different things like that.
Great. So we're moving closer to one very interesting topic, which relates to celebration, such great holidays like Christmas and Halloween. In Ukraine, we usually celebrate Christmas with our friends and family, just with our common traditions like preparing dinner with traditional dishes and then spending all night together. Then Halloween is much less popular in Ukraine, but anyway, many cafes and restaurants, they try to keep this new trend and decorate all the windows and house with many interesting items. But as far as I know, in the US, Halloween is much more popular.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Halloween, it's a very, very big holiday in the US. People decorate for it. Kids go trick-or-treating. Adults wear costumes too in the US on Halloween. At my workplace, people were dressed up for Halloween. There's a lot of parties, especially in college. It's a really fun part about Halloween. And Christmas also is a really big deal in the US. A lot of people put Christmas lights in their front yard. And as far as celebrating Christmas, I think it really depends for a lot of people, where their families came from, as far as what traditions they follow. So some people will follow, different traditions, maybe if they're Italian Americans or if they're Mexican Americans. For me, I know my family will have some German Christmas desserts sometimes, but a lot of people in the US, I would say, get Christmas trees. And there's a lot of parties around Christmas time. And another really big thing in the US, which I'm not so sure about in other countries, but Christmas movies is a really big deal. And also listening to Christmas music. A lot of stores around Christmas time, you'll go and they'll be playing Christmas music, which I love, but a lot of people hate. So I think it depends on that.
Yeah, in Ukraine we have the same story because Christmas movies and music that what creates naturally the mood of celebration. And I adore watching these movies.
I do too.
Especially Home Alone. That's my favorite one.
I've never actually seen Home Alone. Ever. I've never seen it. I don't know. I've just never had interest in watching it, but I do love watching a lot of Christmas movies. Like, I love The Grinch, Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph, like, all those I love. All right, our next question was, what do we like most about our country? Masha, do you want to go first?
Okay. As for me, the best thing in Ukraine are people. Because people, that what makes this country special, especially during this hard time for Ukraine. We just proved to the whole world how we are united and strong together, and will never leave someone alone in difficult situation. I like this amazing and inspiring people living near me, and I like these creative communities in which I can take part. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic point. And one more thing I like in my country is, as I live in Kyiv, I adore old architecture in the central part. So that's why I usually go for strolls with my friends there. And what about you, Fiona? What do you like the most about the US?
Yeah, I would say what I really admire about the United States is I think there's a lot of really creative people here. A lot of really interesting movies, and I think music comes from the US, but I think more specifically, again, since I grew up in California, I really love California. I think it's a very beautiful place, and I just think it's a very interesting place. There's so many things you can do here. I do like other states too, and that's something I like is there's a lot of different states in the US that you can go to, and they're all very different, I think. So that's something I really enjoy about the US, I guess, is the creativity and the diversity of different states and just different people. And
yeah, that's great. As the conclusion, let me tell like this. I'd say that there are plenty of different traditions between in different cultures, and that's so interesting to explore them. So please be curious and do not hesitate that traveling and exploring some new traditions, some new cultures. That is so fantastic. Even if you don't have a chance to travel, just communicate with those people who may inspire you and share their experience. Maybe later you'll have a chance to meet in real life and travel to those countries.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, if there's a topic you want us to address, send it on our Instagram, and we will do our best to make an episode on it.
Yeah, thank you. And see you the next time. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody, for listening.